My name is Akila. I'm going to explain about the part 3 tools for LF logistics. I and Kugandiran will be explaining on this. Let me share you the screen. Part 3 LF logistics. So first I'm going to talk about the strength opportunities matrix of LF logistics. So first strength we have the LF Logistics have successful track record of integrating complementary firms through mergers and acquisition. It has built a reliable supply chain over the past few years. Opportunity 1, decreasing cost of transportation because of lower shipping prices can also bring down the cost of LF Logistics products, thus providing an opportunity to the company like to boost its profitability to gain market share. By decreasing cost of transportation, it also reflects to boosting profitability to gain market share. Therefore, it also strengthens the integration complementary firms that has built a stable and reliable supply chain. Left Logistics has good returns on capital expenditure as they are relatively successful at execution of new projects and generated good returns on capital expenditure by building new revenue streams. The third strength, Alive Logistics has strong cash flows that provide resources in the hand of the company to expand into new projects. The second opportunity is lower inflation rate to bring more stability in the market and also to enable credit at lower interest of LF Logistics. This may support the third strength where lower inflation rate will cause various benefits for the company. Therefore, with stability in the market, LF Logistics will have good and strong cash flows, which will allow the company to expand. The third opportunity is low taxation policy can significantly impact the way of doing business and can open new opportunities for established companies such as LF Logistics to decrease its profitability. It also supports the second strength by low taxation policy will impact the business in a good way to open new opportunities. Therefore, LF Logistics will be successful at execution of new projects and generated good returns on capital expenditure by building new revenue streams. Next, we're going to talk about the strength threats matrix. The strength, LF Logistics has a great warehouse management system with fully integrated system. LF Logistics offers excellent training and external education programs organized for upcoming employees about the logistic industry. LF Logistics has a good expenditure to revenue turnover rate. Their monthly total cost management is good. Therefore, their threats are warehouses in logistic industry in Malaysia do not utilize space and inventory properly, thus creating a weak inventory and storage system and also a weak inventory layout of the warehouse. By having a great warehouse management system, LF Logistics can overcome threat of having warehouses. Next threat is it might increase cost of rent and fuel costs will impact logistic industry. Yes, by having a good expenditure to revenue turnover, LF Logistics can afford the increasing price of expenses of rent and fuel. The threat is human capital expenditure such as wages and training fees will be increased as there are employees training and workshops. By offering an excellent training and education programs, Alive Logistics can save money on wages and training fees as they already have the facilities to do so. Yeah. Next, we are gonna explain about the weaknesses opportunity matrices. So there are three weaknesses where LF logistics depend too much on human labor for warehouses. The opportunity may implementing various technology in the warehousing system efficiently using the technology such as RF, RFID and voice picking to run a smooth productions in the warehouse. This becomes an opportunity. Uh, it might also, for example, LF Logistics able to use various new robotic and artificial intelligence technology in the warehouses in terms of repetitive job to reduce the cost of human labors. Second weakness, we have the Arab logistics do not own any hubbing bases in Malaysia. Since the rise of e-commerce around the world, most logistics companies create hubs around regions of Malaysia to ensure that deliveries are smooth. However, LF Logistics have not does not own a lot of hubbing bases around Malaysia regions to deliver. The weakness is warehouse size is not sufficient enough for future demands. If let's say there are too much of orders, stocks has been received um, or has to be delivered to the customers and clients, LF Logistics does not have enough space to store extras and future demands. Having an effective operation management in the company creates a sustainable competitive advantage. This can be opportunity to gain customer trust. LF Logistics should enlarge the size of warehouse due to reduces the bottlenecks for an effective operation management. The third opportunity that LF Logistics have is good supply chain and having ideal number of distribution center around the world. LF Logistics should own a sufficient hubbing base and distribution center for an effective supply chain. Therefore, it can be an advantage for LF Logistics due to increase of e-commerce. Next is weaknesses threats matrix. In weaknesses threats matrix, we have high workforce wages and salary. Uh, Cash flow is positive, but the number is not high enough to be disbursed to investment due to limited funds and resources of the company. Third, we have huge expenditures and costs of overheads company. So the threats for high workforce wages and salary is causes retail bankruptcies and destocking will impact the turnover in sales and financial due largely to decreases in turnover and total margin. LF Logistics can limit workforce which would be essential for lowering the cost of the LF Logistics company and higher dividend would be given out to the shareholders. Next threat might be high cost of warehouse acquiring may financially impact the company growth due to the higher rent payments. This connects to the third weakness, which is huge expenditure and cost of overheads of company. LF Logistics should reduce the expenditure for warehouses to cut down the excessive overheads such as rent. The third threat we have operating costs of a high due to the quality of service. The level of market is difficult to achieve owing to the clear organizational costs, enhancing the company's quality. So this third threat is connected to the second weakness, which is not enough this amount to disburse to investment due to the limit fund and resources. So LF Logistics should reduce their focus on the operating costs which contributes with extra overhead costs. Therefore, the cash flow of the company would be balanced for further investment. I will pass on to Kugan.
Good morning and hello to LF Logistics and Mr. Hasan. Today I'm going to present what are the strategies should implemented in LF Logistics. Okay, the first strategy is maxi from strength opportunity is lower inflation rate will cause various benefits for the company. Therefore, with stability in the market, LF Logistics will have good and strong cash flows which will allow to the company to expand. Next strategy is lower taxation policy will impact the business in a good way to open new opportunities. Therefore, LF Logistics will be successful and execution of new projects and generate good returns on capital expenditure by building new revenue streams. Okay, the last strategy for strength opportunity is by decreasing cost of transportation. It also reflects to boosting profitability to gain market share. Therefore, it also strengthens the integration complementary firms that have built a stable and reliable supply chain. Okay, moving to the next strategy, which is maximity of strength threat, is by having a great warehouse management system, LF Logistics can overcome threats of heavy warehouse that do not have enough space and have a weak inventory system. By moving to the next strategy is by offering an excellent training and education programs, LF Logistics can save money on wages and training fees as they already have the facility to do so. The last strategy for strength and threats by having a good expenditure to revenue turnover, LF Logistics can afford the increasing price of expenses of rent and fuel.
Hi, for the next slide, I'm going to explain about the weaknesses threats and weaknesses opportunities. Let me share you the screen. Which weaknesses strategy that LF Logistics should focus on and why? My advice is high workforce wages and salary because high workforce wages and salary, that is a huge cost to company, a huge number of employees, which will be an additional cost to business expenditures. Retail bankruptcies and destocking causes retail bankruptcies and destocking will impact the turnover in sales and financial due largely to decrease in turnover and total margin. Average LF Logistics has around 500 to 620 employees, which average 3,000 ringgit per salary per employee. If multiplied if multiplied with 620, it will be a huge sum and might reduce total net profit of of company, which will also reduce the shareholders' dividend. Outcome of the advice for WT strategy, uh, weaknesses, threats strategy. Limited workforce would be essential for lowering the cost of the LF Logistics company, and higher dividends would be given out to the shareholders. Overall, this will drastically reduces the chances for the company to land on bankruptcies. Next question is, which weaknesses opportunities strategy that LF Logistics should focus on and why? My advice is a warehouse size is not sufficient enough for future demands. LF Logistics warehouse size is not sufficient enough for future demands, which has a total warehouse size of 1.2 million square feet in Malaysia, which is huge. However, not huge enough to fit future demands and will cause lack of storage. For example, companies like Lazada has 2 million square feet currently and is planning to expand to 2.25 million square feet by the end of 2022. Also, enlarge the size of warehouses. LF Logistics should enlarge the size of warehouses due to reduces the bottlenecks for an effective operation management. What are the outcome of the advice for weaknesses, opportunities, strategy if LF Logistics um, improve on their weaknesses? Packing and processing. Today's warehouses and distribution centers do a lot more than simply store their products. A good warehouse will provide picking, packing, and shipping services as well as inventory management. Inventory logistics management processes are what allows the company to manage largest in-house range of steel, aluminum, and stainless. Next is spot stocking. Spot stocking, the benefit is particularly useful for manufacturers that produce seasonal products. Spot stocking is also a warehousing technique favored by the agricultural sector. Instead of using a warehouse facility year-round of shipping direct from the manufacturer, spot stocking uses a number of warehouses simultaneously in a range of locations close to key markets to reduce transport time immediately meet customer demands. Next is production support. Warehousing ensures a regular supply of goods into the marketplace by being able to store goods when supply exceeds demand and then realizing them when demand exceeds just in time production. Maintaining consistent stock levels helps on the production support if there's no uh, sorry these vital components are delivered where and when the company need them. And thank you. That's all from our group name Heaven.